She was the final housemate taken out by the cookout in Big Brother 23. Plus, you've seen her appear now in the Challenge USA seasons 1 and 2. So my guest today is Alyssa Lopez. Alyssa, how are you? And tell me what it's like processing the latest episode of the challenge.
It's pretty funny. I mean, thinking about how I only had one other ball in 5 episodes, and that being the way I get sent in, I had a feeling that's my luck. I have really bad luck. So I wasn't as surprised, but watching it back, it's funny to see what strategic move the vets made.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's dive into the ball point you made there, which was the Hopper twist this season. So what did you think of that? Because it is kind of a shame that, I mean, really, you were playing a really strong, especially strategic game this season, and one singular ball that went into the Hopper is what got you out.
Yeah, honestly, it sounds weird, but I almost would rather go out that way because then it's like I wasn't doing anything wrong. Like it was all on me kind of thing. So like I feel like if I would have been like the main vote or like 5 votes in, I would have been like, what could I have done differently to make that not happen? It was like I never really had votes. Strategically, I was placing myself well, and I just had bad luck. So it kind of was easier than like I should have done this, I should have done that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so as I mentioned, fans may recognize you because you've been on Big Brother. You were also on the first season of the challenge. So I have to know, how did season 2 of the challenge differ from your time on season 1? And did you find it more difficult, or how did they compare strategically for you?
I feel like well, first of all, just the living conditions were way better season 2, because we actually like had a house.
Yeah.
But, I think season 1, I went in and was like really in like I trained really beforehand, and like I wanted to like prove myself because I'm no matter what house I go in, I'm always going to be the smallest girl. So I feel like I was a little more motivated in season 1, but not strategically. And this time around, I wanted to play that Big Brother lover of mine, is that I want to be strategic and I like to play those games. So I feel like season 2, I really wanted to figure out my angle strategically rather than focusing so much on like the competition.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think that was very clear from the viewer stance. Now, this season, another twist that you had to experience was the MTV vets coming into the game. And you really gave these MTV vets zero slack. You were also probably one of the most amplified voices against them. So walk me through your thought process with that whole situation.
I feel like not everyone, but I feel like at least in like the Secret Garden, majority of us were very wanting the vets out. Maybe I'm a very direct person. I don't sugarcoat things. So it's probably much more direct of me just wanting like the vets out. I think for me, it was a great way to connect Survivor and Big Brother, so there's not that divide right away, and be able to have the same goal of putting these vets out, because one, there's only 6 of them and it's like an easier target to all band together on. So that was kind of my thought process. And not a lot of them really spoke game with me anyways. So it was like, you're not really helping my game, so why would I help yours?
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, I want to get into your elimination a little bit more now. So first and foremost, what was it like having to go against Cassidy? Because I know she was kind of one of the girls that you had sort of been working with throughout the season.
Yeah, I wish they showed that more. I definitely had like my side little alliance with Cassidy outside of like the Secret Garden. I really just bonded with her. I saw her as, like I said on the episode, like a little sister, and like wanted to help her out whenever, she was just struggling with stuff in the challenge. And it definitely sucked going against her. But at the same time, I was like really happy that she won her first elimination, because I know how that feels to win one. So it was like bittersweet of, oh man, I'm leaving, but at least, someone that I care about got the win.
Yeah, for sure. It's always good to see your friends be successful. Now,
Yeah.
with this elimination, it was extremely close. I mean, from the viewer's perspective, I really was like, I have no idea who's going to win. So do you feel like there's anything that you could have done differently that maybe would have given you a leg up in this one?
I think I couldn't figure out my momentum soon enough. It took me a little bit. Like you could tell I like finally caught up, because in the beginning I like wasn't getting momentum, because again, I'm just very tiny. So I would only be able to like roll the crate once. So then I had to start like throwing my body into it and be rolling like 5, 6 times, and like my whole body is just rolling in this metal crate. So I think if I would have got the maneuver, quicker. Maybe I could have caught up more, but by the time I got to the sign, I like physically couldn't reach it. And you can't like turn the crate, you have to roll it. And they didn't show how many times I rolled back into the screen to try to reach it, and I just couldn't reach it. So
Okay. So in the challenge season 1, you were so close to making the final, but fell just short. And this season, you had mentioned a lot in your confessionals, or at least that's how it was shown on TV, that you were really hoping to make it this time and kind of improve from how you did the first time around. So unfortunately, that did not happen. But, I've kind of always been curious to know, because I don't think this is something we talk about enough, is like, what's it like on that flight back home, having to process that loss and then like maybe not making the final again?
imagine going on the flight and it's like 24 hours of flying and your whole body is so bruised up, you can't move. So the traveling itself was just really hard. But again, like I was kind of okay with it. I had a lot of nerves this season and was like really stressed more than last season because I didn't mentally and physically prepare for it. I wasn't training. I was really overwhelmed with my business. So like I didn't come in prepared. And I think I knew that and it kind of showed. So leaving, it was almost like a relief a little bit because I just think that it was my time. And I think everything happens for a reason. The fact that my one ball gets picked, it's like this happened for a reason. And when I went into the elimination, I had no nerves, and I've had nerves the entire season. So I was kind of okay with coming home, honestly.
Yeah, it was probably a lot of relief for you. Well, I will say, from the viewer perspective, I really think you played a really strong game this season. My final question for you, Alyssa, do you feel like there are still more challenge seasons in your future?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. I would want to be in a position in my life where my business is where it's at now, but be able to manage my, like I said, I wasn't able to really work out and train and like mentally prepare. And I feel like that showed. So I feel like if I were to come back, I would want to be able to have more of that freedom outside my business to be able to focus on my physical strength and stuff, because look at me, that's clearly where I lack. So it would I don't know. I don't know, maybe next season, because that's kind of too soon for me, I think, but maybe like in a year or two.
Yeah, maybe somewhere down the road. Okay, I'll take it. That's a great answer. Alyssa, thank you so much for being so open about your experience this season and giving so much insight. We appreciate it. Best of luck to whatever's next for you.
Thank you.